That's my sonic screwdriver. Okay, so today's challenges in college, I had to take this is a requirement that I couldn't get out of or couldn't go to anyone. It's just like a thing you do on the internet and like the end. I had to take an essay that was 187 words and turn it in. I was supposed to summarize it into a 500-word essay. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, so probably one of the most difficult things I've had to do in a while. I actually had to apply myself. So this is a kind of a how-to to BS your way to get 500 words out of something. So common things that show up, very is a common thing. Everything is very exaggerated. What else? This is about a laboratory research study. So you hear that about 50,000 times. There are 3 laboratory research studies. So you'll hear the first, the second, and the third multiple times. So I'm going to read it to you. I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Naturalistic studies of aggressive behavior. There were 3 laboratory research studies done on aggression in a very naturalistic setting. All of these studies were done as laboratory research. All of the laboratory research studies dealt with very aggressive drivers who were aggressively honking their horns. The aggressive horn honking measured aggression. All of these laboratory research studies were based off of the laboratory research studies done by the laboratory researchers who were A.N. Doob, and A.E. Gross. The results of this laboratory research study were from their first laboratory research study. These results from the first laboratory research study were from that survey where they had a total of 59 very normal drivers. It suggested that these very normal drivers would get very irritated and very angry very frequently and very often when there were very aggressive drivers very frequently honking their horns. These 59 very normal driver people, who would also get very aggressive towards other drivers when very aggressive drivers were also honking their horns. All of the first laboratory research was all in the first laboratory research study. In the second laboratory research study, there were 92 male drivers. In the second laboratory research study, the laboratory researchers used a 3x2 factorial design. What the second laboratory research study showed was those changes in the experiment of a rifle in a very aggressive setting and situation, and when the people who were the victims were able to be seen very visibly. Both of the groups in the second laboratory research study honked their horns more. The horn honking rate in the second laboratory research study went up so very high, that it caused a lot of problems even at a traffic light. That was all in the second study. In the third and final laboratory research study, there were 137 male drivers in the study, and in the third laboratory research study, there were 63 female drivers in the study. All of the drivers in the third laboratory research study looked at very carefully all of the effects of a rifle. All of the drivers in the third laboratory research study looked very carefully at all the effects of a bumper sticker that had very bad and very aggressive connotations. All of the drivers in the third laboratory research study looked very carefully at all the effects of an individual S characteristic. The S characteristic is about gender and a looked into explanation of a very self-perceived status. All of the effects, including the 3 I listed above, the effects of rifle, the effects of bumper sticker, and the negative connotations of the effects of an individual S characteristic, all had to do with the horn honking. All of these results from the third laboratory research study all gave noticeable growth in laboratory-based research that was done on aggression. Overall, between the 3 laboratory research studies on aggression horn honking, the researchers of the laboratory research learned a lot about aggressive behaviors. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay golden.